This is The Scoop for Friday.
I'm Sean Canan with the WMNF News headlines. The Florida House has passed a bill to let 16 and 17-year-olds work longer and later hours. Supporters said teenagers and their parents know how best to manage their time and activities, and lifting employment restrictions will help them build careers and earn money. Opponents said the changes would make it easier for employers to exploit children, and longer hours could negatively affect schoolwork. The bill would remove restrictions prohibiting 16 and 17-year-olds from working more than 8 hours when they have classes the next day, and from working more than 30 hours a week when school is in session. Yesterday's vote comes a year after the state created a law making it harder to hire immigrants in the country illegally. State Representative Anna Escamani questioned whether the measure was being proposed because the state's immigrant employment restrictions are making it more difficult to fill some jobs. The Senate has a similar bill that does not go as far as the House. Governor Ron DeSantis said yesterday he is deploying members of the Florida State Guard and additional members of the Florida National Guard to Texas, which is in a dispute with the federal government about undocumented immigrants entering the country. Texas Governor Greg Abbott continues to battle the Biden administration even after the U.S. Supreme Court recently ruled that federal agents can remove razor wire that Texas put at the border. DeSantis says states have a right to, as he puts it, defend their borders, even if it defies the Supreme Court.
If Texas is helping to erect barriers, putting up razor wire, doing other things to keep illegal aliens out, I want to be helpful with them doing that. I don't want to be part of the federal government trying to tear down these barriers and let more people in illegally.
House Minority Leader Fentress Driscoll quickly called the move a stunt, and she questioned DeSantis' focus coming off his presidential run.
We should not be sending them to the border because this is not their job. This is not for Florida to get involved in, and we certainly have plenty of crises to deal with here at home.
Florida has been sending members of the National Guard and members of state law enforcement officers to Texas since May. Vacation rentals could soon be under statewide regulation. WMNF's Chris Young reports a bill passed in the state Senate yesterday that would give Florida more power over regulating the properties.
The bill requires property owners to pay certain fees, designate someone to respond to complaints or emergencies, and more. It would also allow local governments to suspend vacation rentals for violations. Pinellas County Republican Senator Nick DeSigley is a sponsor of the bill.
I'm not convinced that these different local ordinances that are different throughout every jurisdiction is working. I don't think they're working in Indian Rock speech. You know what's working in Indian Rock speech? Litigation.
Democratic Senator Tina Polsky voted against the bill. She said ordinances that may make sense in highly populated counties might not make sense for more rural areas.
And so how do you ever come up with the right balance in a state this size? You can't. And so that's why, like so many other things, we shouldn't preempt local government.
The bill passed in the Senate 27-13. For WMNF News, I'm Chris Young.
Floridians may soon be able to arm up when disaster strikes. Current law bans the sale of guns and ammunition during a declared state of emergency. But a new bill would strike that from state law. Apollo Beach Republican Representative Mike Beltran supported the bill in committee.
So you're allowed to have your gun. The Second Amendment protects that right. Then when there's an emergency or a riot or some situation where you really need your gun, that's the time that the government can say, no, you can't take your gun out. You can't have your gun. Makes absolutely no sense to me. That is when you need your gun.
Contrary to what Beltran said, the law does not say you can't have your gun. Opponents of the bill say it could create more chaos during an already hectic disaster. A small plane crashed into a Clearwater mobile home park last night, and there were multiple fatalities. It happened at Wayside Waters on US 19, south of Clearwater Mall. News releases from the City of Clearwater Public Safety say that one mobile home was damaged heavily by the plane crash and subsequent fire. 2 nearby homes sustained minor damage. The mobile home park is about 3 miles north of St. Pete Clearwater International Airport. The FAA says the pilot had reported an engine failure. Today, it will be mostly sunny and warm. Highs will be in the low 70s. Tonight, partly cloudy and cool. Overnight lows will be in the high 40s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and warm with highs in the mid 70s. I'm Sean Canan with the WMNF News headlines.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.